AJ here, and today I'm going to teach you how to make the best non-mushy black bean burger you have ever had. And wait for it, it's vegan and it's gluten-free. It's delicious. I'm going to show you step by step how to make this so that you don't ever have to buy one of those gross, frozen, disgusting patties again, and instead you can make your own very easy, very delicious black bean burgers. Let's get into it. Hey, if you're new, it's AJ. I post videos on here a couple times every single week. They're always vegan, usually gluten-free recipes. So if that's something you're interested in, maybe consider subscribing, but you don't have to. It's totally cool. All right, so step one, you're gonna want some black beans. Now the black beans, just canned black beans is fine. If you're really into black beans, feel free to make them. That's cool. Follow your bliss, right? My bliss was leading me to canned. Make sure they're unsalted. And this is kind of the most important part if you want non-mushy beans. You want to rinse them, dry them, put them on a baking sheet. We're going to throw that baking sheet in an oven at about 325 for 15 minutes. So what this is going to do is it's going to dry it out so that it's kind of soft, right? But it's not mushy because we're going to add other things that are going to work as the liquid. So you can see here what they look like before. And this is what they look like now. Now that they're nice and cooked up, they're kind of breaking open, but they're not dry, they're not hard, they're still good to go. So this is kind of your first step, is getting this in the oven for 15 minutes, and then they're good to go. It's okay if they're still a little wet. It's okay if some of them are dry. All right, while that's hanging out in the oven, you're gonna prepare your flax egg. One flax egg is 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal, 3 tablespoons of water. So we're preparing 2 of them. You probably wanna do this while your beans are hanging out in the oven because then it'll get nice and gloopy. So I have these here hanging out using just, normal flaxseed meal. And then you also are going to want to chop up some red pepper, some white onion, about a half of each. I had a small bell pepper, so I did a whole one, but about a half of each of them would be good. And then you're gonna wanna grab your spices. Your spices are gonna be your salt, peppercorn, garlic powder, cumin, ancho chili powder, and smoked paprika. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our red pepper and our white onion. This could be red onion too, by the way. They're interchangeable. I think the white's a little better in the burger and then red on the burger, but you do you. You follow your bliss, not mine. And we're gonna take this over to the stove, put like about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of oil, olive oil, and we're gonna saute these and get them nice and soft. So all this is happening while those beans are hanging out in your oven. This is why it's a very fast recipe. Oh, and leave your oven on after you're done with the beans, because if you are gonna cook the burgers, I recommend cooking them in the oven, but you totally could take these and put them on a grill. You could saute them. It works so many ways. Alrighty, so we're getting our handy dandy food processor ready for this. By the way, if you don't have a food processor, you can 1,000,000% make this recipe in just a bowl. I've done it a bunch of times, and I would actually say if you like kind of a chunkier burger, then you don't need the food processor. It can actually make it too fine. So luckily I've made this a few times before, so I think I'm gonna be all right with the food processor. We are going to mix together the rest of the ingredients and sort of make our burger base. All right, so first things first, we're gonna do 1/2 a cup of gluten-free all-purpose flour. You could also do oat flour, and if you don't have oat flour, you can grind down rolled oats in this thing, and there's your oat flour. So 1/2 cup does you really well. If you eat normal flour too, by the way, you could put all-purpose flour in here. You could put breadcrumbs, anything that's just gonna help it stick together. Feta. Now I'm gonna use vegan feta. This is the Voila Life brand. I know it works really well, and it tastes really good in here. Now, if you can't find this or you don't like it, you could just omit the cheese, and I have omitted the cheese, and it tastes just as good. You don't have to adjust anything. Just omit the cheese. Just leave it alone, and don't judge yourself for it. So we're gonna put about 1/2 a cup into here. That's about 1/2 of this brick. Feta thrown in here as well. You could break it up into smaller chunks, but it's all gonna get broken up in there. Next, we are gonna throw our vegan eggs, or our flax eggs, in here. Should look like an egg consistency. That's how you know you've done it right. We're gonna do a couple tablespoons of vegan mayo. This could also be ketchup if you like ketchup-y flavors. So I'm using the Sir Kensington avocado one. About 2 tablespoons will do you well. About 2. All right, next you're gonna throw in about a tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. Now, most Worcestershire sauce is not vegan. So you actually have to check it out. This is just the Whole Foods one, and it is, but if you can't find this, you can simply omit it. Now I'm going to do our spice blend. Our spice blend will be listed below if you want the exact measurements, but we're going to do a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, some garlic powder, some cumin, some chili powder. This could be any type of chili powder, but I'm using ancho chili. And then a little bit of smoked paprika or normal paprika as well. So now what we're gonna do is we're not actually gonna blend this yet, we're just putting it in there. We're gonna grab our veggies, take them off the heat, and get them in here as well. All right, so you can see how cooked up those veggies are, right? Okay, so these veggies, what we wanna do before we throw them in there, again, we're just trying to stop the mush. You can grab a towel or a paper towel or a cloth, and you kind of just want to blot these to get any extra oil off of it so that your burgers aren't extra oily. A little oil is okay. Extra oily is icky. And so we're just blotting down. It's kind of like when you used to eat pizza when we were kids and the news told us if you blot your pizza, it's not bad for you anymore. All right, so we're just throwing these veggies in here, and I'm using a slotted spoon just to minimize the amount of oil. Now that we have the veggies, the vegan cheese, the spice blend, everything but the beans in here, we're gonna blend this and kind of make a puree. So we're gonna throw the top on here, and we're just gonna pulse it. This part you don't have to be super careful on. What you wanna be careful is when you're throwing the beans in, because we don't want them, I don't like them completely mushed. I like to see some beans throughout my burger, but if you don't, you can mush them all the way. All right, so we got our 2 cans of black beans here. So I'm gonna throw in, most of them, and I'm just gonna save a few of them for near the end. You could kind of just throw all these in here, but I'm just gonna be cautious because I wanna make sure this is a nice, chunky, delicious, nutrient-dense, energetic, protein-filled, delicious treat. I'm actually gonna go ahead and throw the rest of the beans in here too. I believe that I won't overmix it. All right, so I cranked my oven up. I increased it from 325 to 375 while I finish pulsing this last little bit of the black bean burger base. So let's go ahead and hit puree. See, this is what we want. We want it kind of, it's gotta be formable, right? You have to be able to form it into a patty. Otherwise, you just have a plop of black beans. And that, I know that sounds delicious, but it's actually disgusting. I'm going to prepare a baking sheet, and we're going to throw these in the oven because it's my recommendation that we throw it in the oven, mostly cook it, and then sear the outside at the end to give it that real burger fix. So let me get these ready to, get these formed out and put on a baking sheet. All right, so we have our burgers nice and laid out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw them in the oven. This is a silicone baking sheet. Parchment paper would work as well. I recommend one of those two just because you want the non-stick effect. And so we're gonna throw it in there at 375 Fahrenheit, 10 minutes, pull it out, flip them, another 10 minutes, pull them out. And then from there, we're just going to quickly saute the outsides of them to give it nice and crispy. And then we're gonna build our burger and we're gonna eat. That's it, easy peasy. All right, so we did it. We got our black bean burger. You can see it right there. I mean, that looks pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It kind of has that color, but you can see the red pepper and the onion in there. I topped it off with a little bit of I had a garlic and herb vegan cream cheese that I thought would be really good with it. You could have it with no cheese. You can put a white cheese on it, whatever you want, a vegan white cheese on it. I'm gonna have my beautiful fairy come in whenever she's ready. She was taking a little nap, and let me know how I did on this burger. Oh, there she go. Hey, Cozy. What do you think?
I mean, they look great.
It looks cute?
Yeah.
You like it?
No, they look so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I am not used to them being so together.
Oh, okay. I thought they were together before.
Yeah, it looks great. Okay, I'm gonna squish it.
Squish it, ruin it. Oh wait, I had to take a picture. I didn't, okay. Did you believe me?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
It tastes a little bit more like Tex-Mex, which I really like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was going for.
Uh-huh.
Yay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
10 out of 10.
There you go. You can take this
Thank you.
and go eat and get it ready. Your fries are almost done. And I'll join you shortly. Well, there it is. We made some black bean burgers, and I think they came out pretty good. So if this is something you want to end up trying, go ahead and tag me at HeyAJ and give it a go. I'd love to see your version of it if you make it. If you're not done watching content, I have another video over here somewhere, or here. One of those directions, I have a video for you. And hey, if you like these videos, you never want to miss another one, maybe like, maybe subscribe, so you always know when the next video comes out. Thanks, I'll see you in the next video.